Understand what is in the painting, to move them, to provoke them. So, if you don't understand a piece of painting, approach the artist and ask for an explanation. Thank you.
Okay. Itu yang saya nak cakap tadi. Saya cakap tahan tak? Saya nak cakap tentang education sikit. What is the root of the problem when it comes to talk about art writers, talk about media? Because we have people teaching in institution yang bukan pakar. Jadi kita ada art history cerita pasal bila pelukis ni melukis, tak cerita pasal isu-isu yang lebih kritikal. So that's the reason why kita tak ramai art writer ni. Yang nampak kalau ada pun asal. Kan? Apa lagi? Saya nak lagi. Ikut tuan. Kalau kita sebagai artis dan kita pada institution, kalau boleh kita write something macam di Pulau Pinang, tulis tentang Pulau Pinang punya artis. Kalau Perak, tulis tentang Perak punya artis. Jangan let other people write about you. You write. Itulah gunanya kita ni. Expertkan diri kita. You have to be a artist member. Arwah Ibrahim Musyid. You have to be the promoter. You promote diri you. Jangan harap orang nak tulis tentang you. Am I right? Ini tak kenal, artis tak kenal. Tapi tak kenal artis. Yang kenal Hamidun, Datuk Rocky. You have to write something about yourself, or even ask your friend to write about you. Barulah orang kenal. Kita ni artis takut, malu, tak berani nak tunjuk diri. Am I right? Because artis kena jadi macam Van Gogh tu tanya. You kena jadi Andy Warhol. Masuk dalam tulis. So we have to write. Kemudian lagi satu. I tanya my friend in Sabah, you tahu CENDANA? I don't know CENDANA. Kenapa dia tahu saya buat CENDANA? I pun heran. I yang tahu saya buat CENDANA. Orang lain tak boleh tentang CENDANA. Because I nakkan duit. Tak dapat. Because satu pelukis Sabah, 1 sen kan duit. Kita nak buat apa? Nak buat orang. Boleh baru jadi artis. So this is the problem. The core of the problem, kita tidak ada orang yang nak membincangkan pasal hal kita. Am I right? Itu yang masalah. Itu ya. So education is the problem. Polisi ni kita tengok balik macam mana di sekolah mengajar art history, mengajar art history. Siapa yang mengajar art history? Orang lain yang punya pakar mengajar art history. Mati ya. Terima kasih.
Saya kira saya ingin kembali kepada pokok persoalan ni ya. And it is really about what exactly art offers for the public. That means it touches on the question of purpose and role as well. So it's not just the difficulties or the obstacles that I think everybody agrees on, the institutional limitations and stuff like that, but what is it that art does to other people other than just artists? I guess that's one way to put it, right? So perhaps we can take the discussion there. Chitu? Oh, I think we've heard you many times. Okay. Bayu, okay.
Hello, hi, saya Bayu, artis. Okay, saya rasa soalan tu bagi saya lah, this is a personal view. Saya rasa soalan tu is out of my territory lah sebagai artis. Jadi soalan tu bagi saya adalah satu soalan atau satu benda yang ada dapatkan ketika kita kat sekolah dulu kan. What is the role of art? What's the role of artist? And I think until now, I'm 50 years old, tapi I tak dapat tahu sebenarnya role artis itu apa. Because for us, it's very basic. As an artist, you're doing things that you like, and hoping what you do might be liked by somebody else, which is the audience. There's a basic structure, and in that point, you're not trying to be good, to be that I'm sharing things with the audience. Because for me, the role of the audience, the role of the artist is artists do what they like. And what they like must be liked by the audience. Not semua audience suka. We have like National Gallery, we have all galleries in town, but we know on a daily basis, only 1 or 2 people akan datang to view. You know, So that structure for me boleh dilupakan Gomez and Leo. Tapi I think for me what important is as an artist, even bukan sebagai visual artist, even as a singer, if you sing good, people like it, you know, and people will talk about it, people will promote you, people do everything around you to make you be there. But if you're not doing, you are singing bad song, people don't bother to talk about you. So it's same as an artist. If you are doing things good, people start to write about you, people talk about you, promote you, send you to overseas, everything, you know. So I think go back to the role of the artist. So my point is, I think it's only the artist, because when the first question come out, what artist want? Artist pun tak tahu nak apa, you know, because we don't know. We can put on the list what artists want. Artists want this. Artists want to have a good living. Artists want to have an air-conditioned studio. Artists want to have all their works been exhibiting dalam negeri, luar negeri semua. Tapi that sometimes is part of the dream. So sometimes we're thinking artis yang hidup ni very synonym with sweet dreams. Because realitinya artists will struggle, like long tension now still struggle, and so what my point here is how to make the artists realize that how they can engage to create a better environment for them to create a good work, so people will start talking about that. That's my point here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jennifer from Sabah Art Gallery. I think the question is very simple. What do the artists want? I mean, what are the audience? What kind of audience the artists would like? There's only two kinds of artists as far as I know. There's one who's like Bayu, who's only interested in doing what they want to do. And I think most artists are like that, probably. Yeah, most artists are like that. And there are also ones who want to make it as a living. I knew an artist, Tina Rima, who died when she was 99, nearly 100. All she was interested in is just drawing everyday life. And she was not interested in selling her work. She wasn't trained, but she was an amazing artist, if those of you who know her. And even at the age of 96, she was still drawing. And when we tried to sell her work, she does not want to sell her work any more expensive than 500, even 1,000. She's so worried. And I said, Tina, your work should be sold at about at least 20,000. I said, you can take that money, you can give it to artists. And she doesn't want it. She said, no, I want people to be able to afford it. Secondly, she doesn't want the art to go out of Sabah. There was a collector who came and saw her work and they wanted to buy her work. But she said, no, I want it to remain here in Sabah where the people who appreciate it can look at it because they understand the life that the Sabahan people are living. So that was all she wanted. It was very simple. The only thing is, of course, it's a bit of a shame because orang Sabah atau orang yang beli painting dia kan, they cannot bring it out of Sabah. She doesn't like it. But until the time she died, I don't think many people have sort of taken her work out. That's why not many people know about her. And for those who want to make art as a living,
what's the point that you are raising?
I'm just saying that there's only two ways of you say what audience? What are the audience? The reason artists want audience is either to make money. Everyone just wants to be known, right? Either to make money or just to be appreciated. If you can be appreciated and get money, that's fine.
That's not the reason a lot of people become an artist. To make money and what?
To be appreciated for their work.
To be appreciated. A lot of artists, they do not need appreciation. They are just born creator. They just fight for doing something. And then if every artist looking for a reward, appreciation from the society, you will have a lot less artists in this world. Because a lot of artists are born to be an artist. They just do the work. They just want to create something. Now, I'm going to go into this, the point that just now that Baha raised about artists, they have to learn how to talk about their work, right? I think that is a very important factors these days. And I met an art critic many years ago in Paris in an exhibition. He asked me about my work. I said, you know, I'm an artist, I'm not good at talking about my works. Then he said to me that I have nothing to say to you. I said, oh, why like that? He said, yeah, you are a stupid artist. If you don't explain that to me, you think I can understand your work. So that is the logic. I think it's important that artists must read and be articulate and can talk about his own works. That's one thing. Yeah. And just now, our friend Bayotomo was talking about something I forgot already. I was going to say something, but never mind. Okay.
Okay, makasih banyak.
Hi, Chief Two Artists. Yes. Well, I guess the question is what artists want, and I think I just want to answer that question very directly. And well, personally, this is what I want as an artist. I want an art ecosystem that does not center art as a commodity. Yeah, I guess I want to pick up from what Silva mentioned earlier about all these senior artists who are forgotten. I think the reason for that happening in Malaysia is because Malaysia is pretty much a almost completely market-driven, collector-driven sort of ecosystem. You know, why is Silva forgotten? Why do most people not know about? No, I'm being very honest. Silva is not forgotten. Silva, you're my favorite artist. You're my favorite artist. But as young artists, why do you not know Silva? Why do you not know Lau Tan Shi? You know, but they would know Abdul Latif Muhyiddin. They would know it. Because these are the artists that have been and are still being purchased, being recirculated back in the market because collectors are buying what collectors want to buy. And I don't blame collectors. And collectors are here in Malaysia playing the role as tastemakers right now, I feel. But that's not their fault. Collectors are merely filling a void that somehow formed in Malaysia because the institutions are not playing their parts. You know, the institutions do not have, they're not playing their parts, the institutions do not have the power and autonomy to promote the kind of art that should be promoted in Malaysia, the kind of artists that should be promoted in Malaysia. So institutions do not have that capacity to actually look at all these artists, amazing artists that we have. But unfortunately, the only sort of institutions that's available out there to sort of set the agenda of who gets shown and who gets seen are commercial galleries. So as an artist, what I want, I can tell what I surely do not want when I see a problem, when I see the problem of art, of the art ecosystem in Malaysia being one that is economy and commodity centric. I do not want to see my government recognizing this problem that there's a problem in the arts, saying, oh, let's set up an agency, an economic development agency to solve the problem of the arts. Because we don't need that, because seeing arts as economy, as commodity, is the problem here. Yeah.
We have time. I shouldn't be talking because it's all about the answers today, but a few questions that have been raised also by JP just perhaps strike the chord for me to say something. I think when CENDANA was set up, I was working alone for 6 months, until a team came on board and we were only working together as a team 10 orang saja untuk 11 bulan. And in my years of less than 10 years of advocating in the arts, I have learned a few things. One is that there's the federal agency, the state, the local councils, and under each of them, they have different departments managing the arts, right? You look at Ministry of Tourism and Culture, ada 9 agensi yang berkenaan tentang seni. State pun mungkin ada berpecah macam kucing utara dan kucing selatan. Bahwa kucing utara dan kucing selatan juga have their own different departments. And at local council pun ada the different departments. So I realized in the arts in Malaysia, it's the art of navigating. Is there feedback from you? It's the art of navigating. And whether artists have the stomach to go through that, because I don't even have that stomach to go through that. So to answer some of the questions, also especially when it's raised by G2, our only mandate is to economize the arts, because there are already existing agencies that are looking at the issues that you are raising daripada segi discussion, narrative, engagement. Could we possibly work with the existing agencies to address some of these methods yang diketengahkan ke? Have we tried and have we been successful? Kalau tak successful, mungkin kita boleh membantu ke? And then going back to the writing of the arts, in a lot of the that we work with, a lot of them obviously are driven by profit. So when a lot of them want to write about the arts, their editors and sales and marketing managers and officers kata tak boleh tulis banyak sangat berkenaan seni kerana lebih-lebih kita mempaparkan seni, but there's not many people actually investing and putting advertisements out in the arts. That's why they write a lot about properties. They write about sometimes things that brings more income to that media house. Those are my thoughts for now. I'm sure I'll bring out a few more things later on. Thank you.
Terima kasih. Dr. Sarina. Assalamualaikum. Saya Sarina from SN. Okay, there are many things which is being raised here. I think back to CENDANA. You're talking about several levels of agencies and all that. I think what because I'm an art historian, okay, so I don't speak for the artists, but I think that by my observation that what we need, as in maybe artists need, is that this agency to come down and actually talk to local artists yang setempat lah. Kadang-kadang tu tak ada communication. That's a very communication. Everybody sits in their own office and doesn't really engage with the siapanya stakeholders. If the agency is the stakeholders like the artists, then they have to come and speak with artists. Kalau tak bercakap, then we are not going to get anything. So usually people sit in their office and expect artists to come and minta tulis surat or buat proposal and stuff like that, which is not relevant thing anymore. But I think to make these agencies viable, the existence of the agency itu harus ada base on their engagement with the artists, the stakeholders. Kalau tak engage, maksudnya you might shut down the agency lah, contoh lah. Okay?
I would like to say something also. To be fair,
Sorry, I think people are waiting at the...
Assalamualaikum everybody. Good morning. My name is Jai. I'm an artist. I'm going back to question 2. I'm going to stick to question so I won't be penalized. Do artists need audience? How do artists need public? How do artists imagine and perceive the audience? What kind of audiences do artists look for? Like what you said, artists do not know what kind of audience they're looking for actually. Because what artists want, I have to answer both. I have to link both questions. What artists want is to make art, that's all. And make art is the whole purpose of being an artist. Without making art, you're not an artist. As simple as that. And with all this political platform, all this subsidization, exposure, infra, sales and marketing, would that make, if you don't have that, would that make you less creative? Would that make you less an artist? Would that make you stop making art? I don't think so. So stop whining about we need this, we need that. So your job is to make art. As simple as that. And if you ask me what kind of audience do the artists need, we do not know the audience. And if you address the audience reception, it's going to be a very broad topic. What kind of audience are we looking at? If audience A like your work, audience B don't like your work, that means you're a failure artist. That's another question I have to raise. So it's a bigger question to be addressed here is actually, the bigger question to be asked here is, I don't know the right question to be asked. I'm just addressing a point here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think just because we have very little time, I do want to kind of graduate the discussion to the other questions. And while I think everybody's in agreement that artists all work at a personal capacity, I do want to point to Chitu's concern about the ecosystem, right? That while you all have your individual inclinations, your individual craft skills, undeniably everybody's something to say. When we talk about an ecosystem, it's no longer just a question of one artist working in isolation, right? It's a question of how do you imagine yourself as part of a bigger unit, which is one of the spirit behind the questions that were chosen by the organizers. Does then anybody have thoughts on that? The question of your purpose beyond your own sort of tendencies, right? Which is why we then move to the question of expression, because working as individuals is one thing, but how do you then express yourself collectively?
Okay.
So if we have thoughts on those questions, that would be great too.
Then, Tuan nak cakap something
Okay, Assalamualaikum, saya Fuad. Bukan Fuad Rahmat, Fuad Osman. Saya rasa dalam persoalan, kalau persoalan dia nak tanya apa artis nak, saya personally, saya sebenarnya dia akan balik ke persoalan yang paling tinggi sekali dalam struktur kita punya sistem. Masalah dia sekarang ni meletakkan orang yang tepat di tempat yang tepat. Ya, masalahnya kepala kita tu masalahnya, kalau kita rasanya kita kalau nak suruh bedah orang, kita tak bagi mekanik masuk kan, sebab dia tak tahu tu bukan bidang dia. Kita meletakkan orang yang kena pada tepat dia, orang yang tahu, yang understand dia punya bidang. Then saya rasa kalau kita boleh meletakkan di atas tu orang yang understand, orang yang tahu tentang bidang ini, benda dia akan jadi lain. Sebab benda dia akan turun, struktur dia akan turun ke bawah. Education bawah itu, struktur segala institution semua di bawah itu. Semua dia tak jadi, pasal yang atas tu tak kena. Dia tengok contoh yang paling dekat, simple dia. Contoh yang paling dekat di Thailand. Siapa menteri kesenian dia? Apinan Pushananda. Siapa Apinan Pushananda? Curator, historian. Dia tahu tak bidang dia buat. Apa jadi dengan seni dia sekarang? Bagus. Pasal dia tahu. Dia tahu apa yang dia buat. Dia tahu bidang dia. Sekarang kita letak siapa kat atas tu? Siapa dia? Dia tahu tak? So, kita nak cakap tentang apa sekarang? So, masalah pokok dia di situ. Letakkan orang yang tepat, orang yang betul, semua ikut. Itu yang terima kasih.
Hello, saya Harani Muhammad dari Kenai. The questions, I think I will answer both questions. Not answer, it's my point of view. Apa artis nak dengan how do you deal with audience. It's not about what artists want from me, it's what artists need. Apa yang anda perlukan. I'm wearing many hats. I'm standing, sitting right over here. I'm a director of a museum, an art gallery, I'm a curator, artist at times and a writer and everything. So bagi saya, apa yang artis perlu? Apa yang artis perlu is you do what you do best, meaning that produce your artwork. Doesn't matter your need is to please yourself, to sell, to anything. It's just that you do what you do best. For you to reach an audience, it's not for you to burden yourself and stress yourself to that. You get a representative, a manager or an agent to help you to do it. Bukan semua artis yang what do you call that, administratively literate. Some of us are lucky. The artists who sitting behind me and in front of me, they're renowned artists. They established. The reason why is because administratively they know how to carry themselves. They know how to package themselves. They can write. Their portfolio is good and everything. So all artists need to do that. You don't burden yourself to do so if you cannot do that. If you're not good at that. Tak semua artis boleh menulis, tak semua artis pandai buat portfolio. Nak scan pun tak boleh. So we help artists to do that. So you get someone to represent yourself to do so. Most of the artists who went abroad, they have someone who did that for them. Definitely, betul kan? Jadi bagi saya, you do what you do best. You are multi-talented and multi-disciplined, but you're not multitasking. Multitasking ni sahaja terletak tak pada semua artis. Some of us, yes, we can write, we can carry ourselves in a package. So you get someone to help you to do it. Don't be too stingy. It's not about money. The practicing overseas. Just I got back from France for 3 months of internship that I did over there. They have artists, they have agents to represent themselves. So you don't need to think about money. I mean, some of you, like Uncle Tom himself, he's like the one that you have a marketing in your head, but not all artists know how to market themselves. So you don't crack your head to market yourself. You get someone to do so. So bila dia dah disappointed macam tu, it's not about what you want to be. It's what you need. Bila you nak market yourself, you be disappointed. Then mulalah macam-macam start to mula jadi curator, tak ada artis. So then they got lost in between. The institution is trying to help. We have all the platform. You know, we have the artists who come to my place. I would call myself like, we are from Penang, the Republic of Penang. Because why? When international artists wanted to do an exhibition in Penang, I said, why you choose Penang? Oh, we want Penang, not Malaysia. They thought Penang is like a country of our own. You know, we are very branding lah. So for me, it's like they carry themselves well. It's not them. They have agents who come and do for them, representative. Tak kisahlah apa pun dia nak panggil so-called curator and so on. So my point of view is what artists need. You do what you do best. Produce your work, whatever reason that you need for. I think that's my opinion as a person for Penang. Thank you.
Sorry, you have to hear my voice again. Artist wants to be understood. So, how do we help the audience? I think you should look into the requisite of each artwork to be accompanied by a statement, a narrative about the painting. That's the way you will make the audience aware of what the painting is about. Don't you agree? Why? Because it's difficult to write a statement. You have to explain. There are some paintings that say untitled. So how do you expect the audience to understand what the painting is about if you yourself don't even know what the painting is about?
Thanks, Sylvia, we're getting off the point.
Thank you
I think
very
it's actually
much,
time to wrap up soon, moderator.
Yes, because we are running out of time. I think we should move on to our next question, which is, do we need to redefine the national art direction that seems inclined towards art industry, tourism and economy? Ini satu soalan yang agak sensitif kerana Cendana sendiri memang fokusnya itu ya.
What's that?
Which question did I have? Okay. The third question. 3E. Oh, repeat it. Okay. Perlukah ada 7 seni negara yang nampaknya cenderung terhadap industri, pelancongan dan ekonomi ditentukan semula? Do we need to redefine the national art direction that seems inclined towards art industry, tourism and economy? Sebab sekarang ni di Malaysia itulah dia punya direction kan, towards tourism, towards economy, entrepreneurship. Jadi artis, sebagai practicing artis, adakah benda-benda ini membantu sebenarnya bidang anda semua, bidang kita, ataupun anda rasa anda telah dipergunakan? So voice out please, supaya benda ni akan kita minitkan dan akan kita bentangkan semula kepada pihak Cendana. Mungkin ada benda-benda yang boleh disampaikan ke atasan.
Can we only take answers to this question, and I'll only give you 2 minutes now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, can we show hands? Can we show hands? Who wants to speak at this point? Okay, let's go to the side of the room. I have heard it less. Okay, silakan.
Saya bagi contoh yang berlaku di tempat saya, Pontian, untuk menjawab tadi persoalan tu, yes. Sebab kami artis di Pontian ni ada satu projek Tourism Information Center. Salah satu peluang yang diberi kepada artis. Artis ni bukan sahaja melukis tetapi berkarya melalui cara lain, merchandise dan sebagainya. Di Tourism Information Center tu memang ada diberi ruang kepada artis untuk menjual karyanya dan juga menghasilkan produk-produk yang lain untuk dijual. So ada pasaran untuk artis. Itu sajalah yang saya nak kongsi. Memang ada pembantu. Sekian, terima kasih.
Yeah. Right. I think the current approach that we're having right now is that we're focusing too much on result-based investment, which includes collectors acquisition, whereas process-oriented approach is quite lacking, such as residency programs, programs that focus on the research process itself, but not art exhibitions. So there are projects such as initiatives such as Art in the Cities are very result-oriented, right? So I would then like to stress the importance of cultural research institutions and collectives, because these are the things that would allow the bridge between the audience and the arts as well. Say, for example, platforms like Zhongshan Building. In Singapore, there is NTU Center for Contemporary Arts, it's state-funded. In Malaysia, we do not have that. But whereas in Indonesia, there are places, there are research institutes that are funded by Ford Foundation, right? There's a foreign aid. But in Malaysia, we do not have that as well. So I think CENDANA is a good start, but it has to focus on more process-oriented, research-based materials. So we can also include institutions such as National Museums, Islamic Arts Museum Malaysia, Sasana Kijang, that can invite artists to look into their collections and do more long-term projects instead of one-off event-based projects.
Okay, my personal answer, kalau kita ada Kementerian Kesenian, bagus. Tapi kalau tak ada pun tak apa. For me, art, dia boleh masuk ke Kementerian Pertahanan pun tak apa. My point is, because what we need is art, it is the money. If kita ada Kementerian Pertahanan and Pertahanan giving more money than Kementerian Tourism for us to do arts, it's better for us. Right, so because the point is, artists want to know their direction. It's not that we are putting somebody else to put our direction. Because if we are under tourism or under kesenian, they will do things sometimes not fit with our needs. So what's the point, right? So our point is, artists is doing their own direction. Artists is creating their own world, their own their own political party, whatever it is. But I think it must coming from that. It must coming from the artist, the need of the artist, what artists want. Right? Because things are shifting. Every 4 years, things are shifting. And we cannot depend on that. We cannot depend on Kementerian Pertahanan, Kementerian Education. Because it's out of our reach. It's not things that we can do. And kita akan jadi hopeless. We all the way down hopeless. Because we're hoping this and hoping that, it will never come to a reality, right? So I think for me, whatever department or whatever kementerian that can help us area, take it, right? I think Kementerian Berlangsung is good, right? Kementerian Kesenian is good also, but Kementerian yang ada, yes, thank you.
Kita kena report ke sapu lah pula.
2 minutes, okay. You are talking about formulating a kind of policy, national policy for fine art or what? I didn't get your question. Because I think you say the direction for fine artists. I'm not sure, because if you formulate something like that, you are actually directing the artist that you should go for this direction, this kind of thing, that. I think it's not on. I don't agree with that. I think the artists, they like what you say, they look for their own direction, their own creativity, they are inspired from different issues, and let them just do it like that. But talking about tourism and all this is just one of the venue where you can get money to help the fine artists. Is that right? I think it's good. But one thing I want to say is that the essence of creativity is about survival. If I'm not healthy enough today, I can't talk about me creating any more work, right? The key issue here is artists must learn how to survive. But the question here is, how well do we want to survive? Some artists can survive 5,000 a month. Some artists need 35,000. If you go on like that, you will have a lot of problems, different issues and all that. Now, last thing I want to say is, too much help is like the zoo. The animals in the zoo, they got everything provided. After a number of years, a number of generations, they are not the real animal anymore. You know?
Okay, thank you, Pak Long. Of course, but it's very interesting because when, okay, sorry, can I just say something? Saya juga dulu seorang artis, sekarang artis juga tapi tak prolific kan? Tapi we never actually question I think my generation was like Aiman, Shaliza, kita nak buat work tak ada duit lah. Cuma dia kena tunggu orang bagi duit baru kita boleh buat work. We never ada issue macam itu. In fact, kita melabur sikit, we fork out our own money. Dulu ada bakat muda sezaman semua, we have to like produce really big, humongous work kan untuk kono-kono nak compete. Kita cari duit sendiri, tak ada pula kata aku tak ada duit lah nak buat. So you have to instill that kind of spirit, I think, if you really want to be a great artist, not just an artist. Anybody boleh jadi artis. Ramai di luar sana boleh jadi artis. Sekarang ni term artis tu dah pecah. It's not just apa ni? Dia bukan terkongkong dalam visual arts mata. Sesiapa pun boleh artis. Tapi kalau you ada satu target, ada satu spirit yang betul-betul nak kata suci bukan suci lah, betul-betul ikhlas. Mungkin lain lah dia punya ada tujuannya. Okey lah, banyak belating kat sini. Next question will come from Miss.
Just now, I'm Chani from Penang. Yeah, we're talking about the question is like, do we need to redefine the national arts direction that seems inclined towards art industry? That question, right? Yeah, so I was thinking in Penang's situation, I think we should redefine, because like in Penang's situation is arts, heritage, culture, tourism together, and we all often see there are conflict to each other. So I based on the experience, I come back to this question. Yeah.
Go to the last one.
Okay, I do agree with Bayu. If we know where the money comes from, then we should go to whatever kementerian. And I personally feel that we don't need top-down decision to tell us what to do, what artists to do, whatever involvement the arts needs to do. Because nanti it's going to be very didactic. Nanti jadi terlalu political and all that. Okay, so artists should be free, especially the younger artists should be free to define whatever your future they want to be. Tetapi we need to know where the money comes from, and we need to know that this comes consistently. If we have BMS every 2 years, we know that it's going to happen every 2 years, then the artist can plan. If we have this agency giving like residencies or to do research and all that, we know that it's going to come like every year in what month and how much is the amount that we can pitch for. So kita nak tahu kat mana semua ni, siapa yang bagi kat mana, mesti konsisten, jangan 2 kali buat lepas tu tak ada dah. Then we cannot plan ahead, see. I might not be need the money like to do research like this year, I might need it like next year, tengok next year tak ada duit dah. So that's not consistent. Betul macam mana you nak build up to develop this ecosystem kan? Because this is not consistent and nobody's going to put like long-term engagement or investment on this, you know, in this kind of like arts and art support development lah. Jadi kalau tak nak 2-3 kali dah dah you got CENDANA for a few years, after that CENDANA cut down. So we don't want that because we need to plan ahead, not only for 5 years, we need to plan ahead 10 years, 15 years, 20 years along the line, and we need to know where does the money come from that we can pitch for it. And of course it is competitive lah, not whether tak ada siapa nak lempar duit kan. And we need to be very integrity in you know, penggunaan wang dan sebagainya lah, because this is all taxpayers' money.
I just want to say, lunch is deferred because we started a bit later, so I think we can probably have another 15-20 minutes if everyone's not too hungry. Yeah? Okay.
Sorry, Tanya. Just hijacking before I forget. Because to be fair, I'm not. I'm going to wear my artist hat when I was researching on the ecosystem. The government has pumped in about $500 million every rancangan Malaysia ke 9 ke 10, and it goes to all the arts, and this is with regards to the arts. The arts itself berpecah antara 4 kementerian, and under each kementerian ada up to 25 government agencies, so that's where all the money is going. Okay? Money usually comes at Kementerian Kewangan, disalurkan kepada different kementerian. Bermakna setiap government agency di bawah kementerian tu pula kena pay. So bermakna tahun ni ada duit, tahun depan tak ada, tahun seterusnya tak ada, tahun seterusnya tak ada. So macam dasar industri kreatif negara dulu yang telah memberi alokasi sebanyak 150 juta kepada sektor seni dan kreatif, in 2012 sampai sekarang there was never any injection, so there's no money. I think harapan all of us, I mean what Puan Sarina said earlier on, you know, she's absolutely right. CENDANA may work its ass off for the next 2 years and suddenly we won't be around. We'll be advocating in different other spaces. The Jabatan Kebudayaan Kesediaan Negara and the other government agencies have been moved every 4 to 8 years from Kementerian Unity kepada Kementerian Pelancongan kepada Kementerian Youth. So they're just constantly moving up, and then we got to restart again. Move up, and then move to another kementerian, we got to restart again. That, I think, is one of the biggest challenge for the arts, because the institutions that are in place always have to restart, re-brief mentally, re-lobby, lobby, and pitch again. And they have to restart with every change. Okay, back to you, Sanya.
Okay, I think it's not just a matter of which kementerian or which ministry has the most money. I think I'll go back to, I agree very much with what Mr. Osman said just now, that it's important to have people who are well versed to head the ministry, because the thing is that when you release funds, you need to justify how the funds are released, and therefore, you know, I mean, you have to answer what KPI and all that. So only someone who is well versed in arts can decide the correct KPI. If not, it is under, like, say, for example, Defense Ministry. How do they decide the KPI for this money? So that's my opinion.
I think we've gotten quite a good sample of responses to that question. We should then move on to the next one, which speaks more to how free artists feel here to express themselves. Do artists feel free to practice? Adakah artis merasa bebas untuk berkarya? Siapa ingin melontarkan pandangan dan kebebasan?
Assalamualaikum. Saya rasa saya nak bagi pandangan saya daripada poin Citu ataupun dari kita akan melihat untuk tentang kebebasan. Mungkin saya rasa kan kalau kita sebut pasal institusi yang kita tahu, institusi Balai Seni Lukis Negara. Tapi saya rasa untuk waktu sekarang ni kita dah kena tukar ada satu persepsi ataupun mentaliti untuk membangunkan negara. Ini bukan kerja 10 orang, 150 orang staf balai sini, tak. Kita kena institusi itu sendiri. Makna institusi itu sendiri, contohlah kita ada galeri ilham, ada apa untuk ni. Kenapa tak mengaku kita part of institution? Kita ada CENDANA. Kenapa tak mengaku, okey, ini yang kita boleh tolong dalam institusi seni. Artis-artis, volunteer ataupun macam mana datang untuk buat aktiviti yang memang secara sukarela. Sebab kalau kita tengok balik pada tahun 1960-an dengan Puan Waira, bukan kita tak pernah bawa balai seni, bukan tak pernah bawa sampai ke international. Pak Long salah seorang yang pergi Sao Paulo Binale. Puan Rohana, Puan Cik Amir, antara orang yang kuat pada waktu tu yang umur saya, yang masih kuat, yang bekerja sampai tak sempat nak dating apa semua. So kita sekarang ni the idea of institutional ni, kita tak boleh letak satu tanggungjawab. Okey, kau kena buat semua, kau kena salah semua, memang kebebasan atau apa, memang salah institusi je lah. So the idea of kebebasan tu sendiri, saya rasa artis, yes, kita memang ada kebebasan dan orang takut untuk cakap pasal politik, tak boleh. So sekarang ni, bila kita dah berubah pemerintahan, saya rasa waktu ni kita kena exercise tentang hak kita sebagai seorang artis dan hak freedom of expression. Saya rasa benda yang untuk kita tengok ke belakang, untuk tentang censorship atau apa, benda tu dah kita, kalau kita tengok belakang, kita dah tak boleh bergerak. So untuk waktu sekarang ni, macam mana kita nak exercise, macam mana untuk kita apply benda tu. So kita dah kena move forward dah. Terima kasih.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Saya ingin respon tentang do artists feel free to practice. Saya Syarmiza daripada Melaka, practicing artist and also mengajar di UiTM. Saya rasa this is a venue yang sesuai untuk diadakan selalu, supaya ahli-ahlinya sentiasa update each other. Kerana saya sebagai artis dan juga sebagai akademia melihat this is an ongoing commitment pada semua kita. Tapi bagaimana kita nak prioritize kepakaran atau bidang-bidang yang kita ada sekarang ni kan. Contohnya artis sebagai artis lah, bidang dia sebagai menghasilkan karya. Manager, art manager ni sebagai art manager lah. Jadi bila masing-masing prioritize dan meneruskan komitmen, tetapi berlandaskan kepada satu landasan seperti yang kita pernah gemilangkan pada zaman-zaman kongres ke, pada zaman-zaman kegemilangan kongres kebudayaan dulu kan, kita ada satu hala tuju, direction yang mungkin apa yang ada dulu sudah tidak relevan sepenuhnya pada masa kini. Jadi saya sebagai artis dan academician boleh sambut apa-apa saja misi yang diaturkan oleh sang ketua ini tadi kan. Untuk menasihati sang ketua ni, kita jugalah, kita yang mempakari dan kita yang telah membuat komitmen selama ini ya. Terima kasih.
Okay, my name is Nasir, Guru Benjin. Okay, we are talking about many things, and most of us focus on the requirements. And in order to fulfill all the requirements, to me it's not necessary. Okay, and that's very difficult. The most important thing, artists have to create their own institutions, meaning that they have to plan by themselves in order to move. Oh, okay. Dengar, ulang lagi kan? Okay. Okay, we are talking about many things, you know, requirements here and there and everything. We want everything. But we cannot fulfill all these kind of things. And it's not your job to fulfill the things, and it's not other people's job to fulfill your things. Okay? Meaning that you have to create your own institutions. Your own institution, meaning that you have to plan and strategize how kind of things that you're going to bring this thing further to make a move whatever it is. Because what we're talking about, the societies and so on, they want to see the changes. And how we bring the changes? This is our job that I have to think now and to bring this thing forward. That's all.
Yes, yeah. Let me go back to Nadira. I would like to respond to the same question about freedom of expression. I think there is freedom of expression in Malaysia, but no freedom of expression, as we all acknowledge, right? But I think, I think artists are not well connected to the broader industry of social movements, right? Artists do not have legal assistance. Say if the artworks have been taken down, who do the artists go to aside from exposing themselves to the media or social media, right? So there should be legal assistance. There should be a form of solidarity network that can support the artists. And if you look at a lot of human rights reports, for instance, from Center of Independence in Journalism, or the Suaram's annual human rights report, which if you look at these annual reports, the censorship on arts has usually been sidelined. And the reason for that, I feel, is that the art scene is quite an isolated scene. Artists do not actually engage with the activist movements or the intellectuals or journalists. So I think that is something that we should look into.
Sorry, Nadira again. Yeah, so going on, do artists feel free to practice? I just want to relay some of the experiences that some of my other Indigenous artist friends have experienced. One of them is an Orang Asli artist who was actually told by the gallery, don't make Indigenous art. And then another Sarawak artist I know also was told by a gallerist, hey, I call your jungle people friends, I have a space for you, you ask them to go make some jungle people art. And the reason, damn sad, right? You know, and so I know that it's like very awkward, you know, to talk about like, oh, you know, giving Indigenous artists that kind of acknowledgement. But the thing is, like, you also have to consider that, you know, with the national cultural policy, that Sabah and Sarawak's native languages were actually banned from schools, banned from the radios as well. So, and we see that because of our history, talking about education, our history, our education system has been so peninsula-centric. And so we see that Indigenous artists, actually Indigenous people were artists even before we knew the word art. You know, and so, but the thing is, like, we see those discussions surrounding Orang Aslis or Orang Asals to be mostly around just like human rights or activism, but at the same time, it's just like we're seeing, you know, a growing group of contemporary Indigenous artists who mostly want to focus on our cultural heritage. And so, how do we actually, you know, start to think about like not just, you know, you're dealing with people who might not necessarily be art literate, but then you're also dealing on top of that with people who might not understand the Indigenous experience or the value of that artwork. So that's why I feel like if it was possible, you know, for there to be like protocols to talk about safeguards, how to work together with Indigenous artists, or if maybe amongst Borneo Bengkel we can create a manifesto of our own. But I would like to actually understand or, you know, converse with anybody who's interested here on how to kind of carry that conversation forward, because Australia supports it, Canada supports it, their First Nations would be very interested in Indigenous artists from Malaysia and what we have to say.
Thank you very much, Nadira. I think saya sebenarnya hari ini saya ada mission juga. Saya begitu curious nak tahu pendapat daripada Tuan Hassan Ghazali, Cik Hamid Ahmad yang mewakili persatuan-persatuan dan para pelukis Melayu. Kalau bolehlah kita nak terus ke soalan yang kelima, yang terakhir. Apakah yang artis ingin lihat di lanskap dan ekosistem seni visual? Ya, sebab saya rasa inilah masanya untuk anda kemukakan persoalan-persoalan ataupun saranan-saranan yang patut kita semua dengar. Take advantage of this program, this session, supaya kita dapat mengenali lah sekarang ni lah masanya untuk kita mengenali ya. Antara sekarang ni saya tengok ramai KL-centric punya practitioners lah, orang garden dan sebagainya, dan ada beberapa yang dari luar ni. Inilah masanya untuk kita saling cuba mengenali antara satu sama lain ya. harapnya selepas ini dapatlah kita usahakan projek-projek yang berpotensi. Jadi ada tak yang boleh?
No, the question was directed specific.
Sorry?
The question was
Yeah,
directed to us.
Oh, okay.
I think you called.
No, I just want to say that.
Okay, please.
Tell us your unit or the institution where we can ask for help and teach us how to ask for help. I mean, this is the first time I heard about what CENDANA. I never heard of it. Every time I need help, I go to the National Gallery. I say I got this. They say, oh, you know, the ecosystem is. We need help, but tell us where to go for it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, selamat pagi. Selamat pagi. Sebab saya dah masuk lewat tadi, saya hanya dengar apa yang dilontarkan kawan-kawan. Kebetulan ya, yang persoalan pertama iaitu keperluan pelukis artis. Saya masih ingat lagi seorang daripada ahli saya, ahli UPS, iaitu yang dah meninggal, saya lupa nama dia. Dia betul-betul artis penuh masa dan duduk di rata-rata di kawasan Puri. Tapi kalau ada apa-apa exhibition, dia cuba masuk. Walaupun karya dia kadang-kadang tak berapa bagus sangat, tapi dia nak masuk juga. Akhirnya dia meninggal sebagai seorang artis. Saya pernah tanya dia, apa keperluan dia sebenarnya? Dia kata keperluan dia pertama sekali memang duit lah, keperluan dia. Tapi paling penting sekali tempat berkarya. Tempat berkarya, dia perlu tempat berkarya. Dia tak ada, dia kata dia ikut tempat, dia tumpang di di Konle, ditumpang di dekat APF. Pernah dia minta kebenaran kami punya galeri itu, dia duduk sana 2-3 malam, dia nak berkarya. Itu satu. Ini saya cerita pengalaman hati di bawah lah ya. Keduanya, dia nak selalu karya dia dibenarkan berkarya, dipamerkan. Dia kata dia kadang tak dapat. Dia kata masyarakat terlalu memilih. Dia tak boleh. Dia memang freedom artis. Memang dia seorang artis yang betul-betul artis. Dia tidak fikirkan lain. Dia duduk, hidup dia hanya melukis. Apa-apa exhibition, apa-apa. Saya rasa ramai kenal sini yang meninggal. Siapa nama lupa, saya lupa nama dia. Bukan Rahim, Tarahim ada soal. Tarahim pun macam tu juga. Dia pun artis yang sepenuh masa juga. Okey, tadi saya kata keduanya ialah dia keperluan dia ialah tempat dia berkarya. Yang ketiganya dia kata dia nak publicity. Itu biasalah, siapa nama saja dia artis, dia perlukan publicity. Kalau kita tak publicity, tak gunalah kita berkarya. Karya kita perlu dipublicity kan. Kita tak ada, macam tadi dah bincang kita tengok tadi, kita tidak ada siapa saluran mana yang kita publicity. Dalam bidang performance yang lain, yang bidang art yang lain, semua ada publicity. Art tak ada, baru nak ada, baru saya tengok ada dalam TV, baru nak ada karya. Tapi kita tidak ada yang nak menonjolkan bidang seni. Okey, tadi saya cerita tadi ialah seorang artis. Jadi sebab itu saya tengok artis ni dia mempunyai identiti yang tersendiri. Dia berbeza dengan yang lain. Jadi maknanya pihak CENDANA, saya rasa yang ada sedikit peranan boleh memikirkan perkara yang itulah. Itu sajalah start saya untuk cakap. Okey, terima kasih.
Okey, terima kasih Cik Hassan Ghazali yang juga seorang presiden daripada Angkatan Pelukis Malaysia dan juga pensyarah di OPSI. Terima kasih lagi. Terima kasih. Dan Encik Hassan cakap tentang ruang dan peluang lah basically for artis yang mungkin ramai sebenarnya yang menghadapi situasi sebegini.
I think we're done. Yeah.
Sekejap dia Sylvia, last kali untuk Sylvia, sekejap kali. Because we're going to wrap up soon.
We have to wrap up.
Me? Okay, is this number 4? What level of freedom of expression? Oh, now we are number 5.
We're number 5 already.
Yeah, I want to go back to number 4 first lah. So later, students will come for you. It's about the freedom of expression. Do you know that all the artists under the scrutiny of the police? A few artists have been already put in the lockup. Now, do we have a support system, your solidarity group, is it? Will you come in support of the artists have been put in the lockup? You have to prepare for that. We have to have a group where you will make a phone call and the artists will come and support. I felt very insecure during my solo exhibition in 2015. I am sure the police sent somebody that looked like a commando, because I brought my audience around and gave them a 1.5 hours tour of my exhibition. But the thing that got me was, one day when I was speaking to my audience, there was a man who came in from the door, very trim, quite tall, in grey. He came right at the door, went to my painting that was red, and the title was "Red Runs My Blood. Yonder the golden streak of hope." He just stood in front of my painting, took 2 photographs, and it disappeared. So, you are under police scrutiny. Where is the support group? You better have one.
Yeah, good point. Lunch is coming up soon, so we're going to allow for one comment to close the session. Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Hamidun Ahmad, mewakili Presiden Gabungan Persatuan Pelukis se-Malaysia. Sebagai intro sikit, Gabungan Persatuan Pelukis Malaysia ini adalah merupakan gabungan daripada persatuan-persatuan pelukis yang berada di negeri-negeri. Pelukis-pelukis kecil yang berada di negeri-negeri bergabung dan menjadi Gabungan Persatuan Pelukis Malaysia. Jadi di dalam keanggotaan kami adalah seramai 10 buah negeri. Setakat ini yang belum ada menjadi anggota adalah daripada Selangor, wilayah Persekutuan, Pulau Pinang, dan juga Sabah Sarawak dah ada. Dan mana lagi pula tu? Wilayah belum ada kan? Dengan wilayah Labuan. Jadi secara ringkasnya kita lihat tadi, melihat daripada soalan pertama dan seterusnya, kita tengok yang paling diperlukan oleh artis adalah ruang dan juga peluang. Ini yang paling utama lah, dan boleh diperbincangkan secara lebih lanjut dan terperinci. Tetapi melihat kepada keahlian kami juga, kita melihat berbagai latar belakang dan juga kaedah dan juga personality. Ada yang melukis di kaki lima, ada yang melukis di studio, ada yang menjadi yang aktif dalam kegiatan-kegiatan. Jadi merupakan, ini adalah perbezaan okey. Jadi nak melihatnya tu, dia perlukan itulah. Ada yang perlukan studio macam sudah Hasan bagi tahu tadi. Ada kalau melihat kita di negeri-negeri perlu dipertingkatkan kemudahan itu.
Soalan ruang dan peluang lah. I would like to just acknowledge the Facebook comments we received in response to the questions and discussions we've been having. This one is from Daniel Chong. Before the elections, apart from the activists, opposition and a few journalists, there were also some very outspoken artists who helped counter grand national propaganda messages like One Malaysia, One MDB, that received billions in finance and other support. Just want to voice appreciation for their courage. Thank you, Daniel. We also have a comment from Lam Shun Hui. maybe an artist that deals with political issues will face more obstacles than an artist who deals with issues pertaining to identity. How can a support system, protective net, be extended to these different kinds of artists? Is it through media publication, to provide security through fame, and so that the public can support? Or perhaps is it through a study of existing laws of Malaysia? Consultants in laws and policies would be helpful. Thank you for those comments.
Can I have one? Okay.
Just one last one.
Sure. Referring to number 5. I think referring to Cik Jai and Mak Fuad was saying that we put the right person at the top. I think besides CENDANA, CENDANA fall under the institution of government as well. So we have our, still, we have all the policy and something. I think the best is to have this umbrella, you set up a foundation. I've worked with a foundation in France. It's called Martina Rosel Ortiz Foundation. It's set up by an artist. He's a photographer. He's still young. I think he's about 55. He won a prize, a major prize in one of the competition, 50,000 euro, and he started and used that foundation for public space. And under his umbrella, he has all these artists. You can have your own rules and everything from the foundation. I believe that we can ask money from the institution as MOF, Menteri Kewangan and everything. So to get to Menteri Kewangan, I think I can get you directly. He was my former chairman of Penang State Museum and Art Gallery, and he was our former chief minister, Tuan Bulat. And for the number 4, the controversial speed, you guys come to Penang and do your exhibition. We used to be in opposition for 10 years. You don't see any controversial because we have a strategy how to manipulate the whole state. Thank you.
So one final comment question, Tuan Ana.
Saya orang dari balai seni. Terima kasih sebab ada beberapa artis yang rakan balai yang selama ini membantu balai sebenarnya. Jangan menidakkan keberadaan balai. Walau macam mana sekalipun, saya pasti pelukis-pelukis memang memerlukan balai dan juga sekarang CENDANA membantu kami. Sebenarnya untuk makluman anda semua, kami menyediakan lebih ruang lagi, bukan saja di pameran utama. Sebenarnya kami ada CS, pusat kreatif itu lebih. Kalau dulu pusat kreatif ada 1 masa tahun 84, sekarang ni kami ada sediakan ruang yang lebih besar, ruang lebih banyak lagi. Jadi artis-artis boleh berkarya sebenarnya, tetapi haruslah memenuhi ataupun mengikut prosedur yang telah ditetapkan. Kerana kami pun tertakluk kepada institusi yang perlu diberi tanggungjawab sebenarnya. Jadi apa yang penting sekarang ni, kalau kita nak menuding jari semua orang sesama sendiri, tidak habis, tidak ke mana-mana sebenarnya. Yang penting ialah saling membantu dan kita terus move on, move forward actually. Untuk itu sebenarnya. Dan satu lagi sebenarnya, di kementerian juga, di balai kita ada, kita sebenarnya tidak kalau menyentuh tentang kewangan, sebenarnya memang kami sendiri pun tidak ada peruntuk yang khusus, tetapi kita ada jangkaukuasa penilai di kementerian dan juga tabung badan seni untuk membantu para pelukis. So please datang ke balai untuk mendapat rujukan dan maklumat yang sebenarnya. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Puan Hana. On that note, we shall move forward to lunch. Thank you, everybody, for your comments and questions. We'll resume at what time?
Okay, we're going to start at 1:30, right?
So we'll start at 1:30.
No, you wanted at 1 more.